Don't prepare for your next interview using this framework, the STAR method. Everyone talks about it. It stands for situation, task, action, result. But the reality is that framework can get you in trouble because you're going to spend 3 to 4 to 5 minutes answering a question that maybe only requires 2 minutes. Why? Because the situation where you start is where people get stuck. They give all this background information about their story that's not relevant to what your hiring manager cares about. Why? They care more about the actions that you took and the results that you drove. So the better framework to use is what we call CARL. CARL stands for challenge, action, result, learning. So when you tee up the challenge, you only need to spend 2 sentences at most articulating the problem that you face. And then you talk about the concrete actions that you took. And this is where you take the bulk of your answer when you are interviewing. Let me give an example of this so that you can see how it works. Let's say someone were to ask me, can you describe one of your top accomplishments in your current role? I could say, well, one of the challenges that we faced was trying to generate net new revenue through a new partnership channel. It had never been done before. So what I did was I canvassed the entire market to identify our niche partner profile. And when I realized this, after about 10 different customer interviews, I targeted just one where I felt like they were as invested as we were. I spoke with their CEO for 3 months, and at the end of it, I developed a partnership framework that we instituted that ultimately helped us get $7 million in net new revenue from that one partnership that year. And what I learned is you need to take away from any sort of canvassing opportunity is ideally identifying your target profile, someone who is willing to put your product in front of your core audience, who is just as incentivized as you, and more importantly, has the urgency to act. That's an example of an interviewing question that you might get and how you can respond to it very concisely. The key here is that when you give these key actions, expect your interviewer to probe more, and this is where you can expand on it. So if you're not even sure, for example, like, ooh, am I going into too much detail or too little? You can always couch it by saying, I did a bunch of these things, and you can list them off, 4 or 5 things. And then you can say at the end of it, I'm happy to go into more detail on any of these, depending on where you'd like to go, right? That's it. And there, you're allowing them to probe. You're going to be in command of the room whenever you interview if you take that approach. So if there's one thing you remember, it's CARL, not STAR. All right, best of luck to you, and I'll see you in the next one.